Let me at him!
Well, there it is. Hello and welcome to the 7th game in this best of 7 series. So this is the final game between InquisitiveHawk and MXM.Foggy on Tyrannus Stand. Ancient of War, go! And what was this little militia up to? Was he fast scouting? Is he going to cheekily build a farm here, or maybe in the Night Elf base, which you sometimes see humans do because the Night Elves can't really do much about it? Oh, he builds the farm here by the looks of it. Because he wants to keep tabs on his opponent is smart. And this is actually a really good map to build farms on if you're a human player. Because, for example, you've got these bridges, and these are like the only access points to your opponent. So if you build a farm there, if you don't see anything go this way, you can pretty much assume that your opponent is on that side of the map or inside. You get an idea, an inclination as to where they are. Look where he built it. He built it inside of the Moonwell and the Altar of Elders. Because he knows he can. The Ancient of War is all the way over here. An Archer is not going to come out in time. And that hero is certainly not going to come out in time. And it looks like MXM.Foggy is going for the Demon Hunter. And it was a good idea for Fox to... Oh, it's got Fox. We've got Foggy, Hawk and Fox. You can kind of see why I might have called him Fox there. Hawk and Fox. Sounds like a pub name, doesn't it? We've got Hawk here, so he's putting down this farm. He scouted earlier. That was another reason to militia up and do this. Just to see, because Night Elves might typically put down an Ancient of War to grant themselves access to the mercenary camp and creep out a nice, tough creep camp as well and get a potentially good item from the Taskmaster. The peasant's work here is done. He's put down the farm. And the archer is nowhere going to near kill that peasant, even if Foggy really tries to micro that. Unless the peasant stands still for too long, then he might get away with it. Nice little wisp here, but Hawk sees it, so that's a good idea to try to scout there, see where your opponent is going, where you... I mean, is Hawk going to come and harass straight away, or is he going to go and creep this goblin laboratory? We will spot that in a moment. Will the wisp also get a detonate on this archmage in a moment? No, it won't, because the archmage is long range enough away enough to get away with it. Anyway, good move there by Foggy. He basically put his archer alongside his Ancient of War and Wisp, which causes the Renegade Wizard to use his mana and cast Lightning Shield on that archer, which then means that you can split that archer into the enemy army, which means that they're then taking damage from the Lightning Shield. So you use the enemy's magic against them, but do not let the Lightning Shield from an opponent, such as a creep or an opponent player like a shaman, that Lightning Shield kill any units, because if it does, you will not get the experience for it. So that's why you keep them in there, and then when it's about to kill them, you move that unit with the Lightning Shield out. Hawk here, almost definitely going to be securing an expansion. This is a good map to get an expansion on as a human player. Robe of the Magi +6. Mwah. Mantle of Intelligence +3. Robe of the Magi +6. That means +9 damage and +9 intelligence for this Archmage. 465 mana for a level 2 Archmage. That is one hell of a good start. And yeah, some newer players might be asking, well, why hasn't Foggy killed this farm yet? Well, at the highest level of play, most pro players are so busy sort of going back and forth, constantly creeping, getting the items they need to get, like boots of speed, picking off the creep camps and stuff like that, that it's a nuisance to have that farm there, but it isn't actually their top priority. Their top priority is to basically be harassing and doing stuff. These archers are going for it because simply they're slow units and they're not going to be able to keep up with the Demon Hunter, who has very cleverly, oh look at that, very cleverly used his staff of teleportation to get inside of a human base. Now this is good that we got to see this, because we haven't seen this yet, and this is something that pro Night Elf players will do. So they'll send a Night Elf Wisp inside of a base, because the human players, they block their base off versus heroes and units, but Wisps are slim enough to skip through the gaps, and they'll typically slide onto one of the trees and not be detected, which means that the Demon Hunter or some sort of hero like that can sort of use a staff of teleportation to get access to that base. Now, I don't think the Demon Hunter will be able to use his staff of teleportation in time, but he will be able to do a lot of damage, because he might be able to pick off a couple of units here, and on top of that, he is going to use the Scroll of Teleport. On top of that, he's completely killed off the economy here. There's no peasants mining gold. There's no peasants getting wood there. So the peasants here have actually been stopped from, you know, building this expansion. Meanwhile, Foggy's actually going to secure his own expansion. So, really, really, really good reason why you should be using Star for teleportation there alongside a Wisp. So this is stuff that you guys can learn. If you're interested in playing Warcraft 3 1 versus 1, watch the pros do it, because you'll learn a lot from them, including that. He dropped the Circlet of Nobility, which basically increases his stats by 2. And that means that he gets a little bit more mana, a little bit more intelligence. So what he does is he drops that, so that way when he uses up the moon wells, he's not going to waste some of the moon juice on too much mana. So that's one way to put it. And oh my goodness, Star for teleportation being used once again, just destroying the economy here. Now he hasn't got a scroll of teleport, so I'm pretty much imagining that he is going to lose his Demon Hunter here. But that Demon Hunter is level 3, he's pretty powerful. He's got a robe of Magi +6 himself, so a bit unfortunate on the item there. But he's powerful enough to pick off these units, getting stronger and stronger. So even if he does lose his Demon Hunter, he's probably going to pick him up from the tavern or just get him back. I would probably pick him up from the tavern, because my experience is a level 3 hero takes an eternity to come back, honestly. But that's okay, because he's hurt his opponent's economy so much. And we're going to see in a moment him get that hero back. We're going to see how much gold it costs. He's got 370 gold at the moment. He's decided to give up on it, so maybe he's going to build something else. Is he getting it back from the altar? He's not. There we go. 470 gold, 490, 500 gold, 510, 500 gold for a level 3 hero. That is not cheap. That is not cheap, but it is still sort of cost efficient for what he's done so far this game. Bear in mind that his opponent has probably lost, like InquisitiveHawk here, has probably lost about at least 500 gold from all the harass that Demon Hunter is doing. And the Demon Hunter's been getting experience for it. He's close to level 4. The Archmage has been creeping very solidly too as well. So getting that hero kill as well has allowed the Archmage to be halfway through level 3. There's a lot of archers here. I'm not entirely sure why. A late tech here from Foggy. He's really focused on this harass here, which is basically what he's been spending his resources on, and we're going to see whether it really pays off for him, because he's been spending his resources on lots of moonwells. He's currently got 60 supply worth, so he's got 4 moonwells at least. Well, would be 4 moonwells, because he's got a tree of life, another tree of life, so that's 20 food right there, and 4 moonwells. So 4 moonwells isn't too much overkill, but it's maybe a bit more than a night elf normally would have before getting their first tech. And he's done so much damage here. Unfortunately, he's not really getting all that much experience. Not enough to get himself to level 4. So I imagine this Archmage is actually going to get level 4 here. No, he doesn't. But the Archmage does catch up ever closer to what the Demon Hunter had in experience. Now this is the part where the Archmage is now stuck. And he doesn't even have that many peasants to chop trees down. So he's probably going to get... Yes, he's going to get the Goblin Shredder. He's going to creep this up. Ah, of course, very clever. He can just get the Goblin Zeppelin as well. So obviously Hawk still has quite a few resources here to spend, and he can get his Archmage out that way. Otherwise the Shredder would be a good way to do it, because the Shredder can just chop through the trees very quickly, allowing the Archmage access outside of his base. Because like I say, human players will tend to almost always block off their base versus opponents, which is why the Demon Hunter has to use that Star for teleportation to get inside with the Wisp. A Goblin Zeppelin is always a worthwhile investment in my opinion. Circlet of Nobility, Time of Strength, not bad items. You can take them or leave them. And it looks like InquisitiveHawk's going to leave them. Is he going to get him with like his second hero later on down the line? He's too focused at the moment. His main priority here, this is what the pros do. They might, even though it doesn't take them that much to get there, their main priority is to get straight to that Arcane Vault that's being built and start healing up those footmen for, you know, potential harassing. This is more important to him than picking up a Circlet of Nobility. So it's always interesting to watch that and see sort of the mentality of players and why they're doing it. Demon Hunter. Oh, here we go again. Oh, denied. He built a Moonwell and teleported to it, but it looks like it got picked off very quickly there by Hawk. He's got Hawk eyes. He spotted that. It's a bit like in StarCraft 2 when, you know, Zerg players will throw down Nidus Worms. If you just attack the Nidus Worms with a few SCVs, I know this is strange when we're talking about StarCraft 2, and I don't even really play it, but if you do that, you can actually destroy the Nidus Worm and deny the Zerg player from basically teleporting units into your base, tunneling them in. This is a lovely move as well. Foggy's got his... Oh, this is why the archers are there. They are very good at picking off towers and also sniping off units. And they're not too bad versus you know, a lowly archmage and a few footmen either, if they are microed correctly. But Foggy's slipping a little bit here because he's concentrating on what's going on over here. So both players are having to concentrate. Lovely little immolation there. He's going to pick off the Goblin Shredder, no doubt, as well as doing nice damage there to the footmen, the peasants. So that's really good experience there for the Demon Hunter. But meanwhile, everything is going to hell here in Foggy's base. He's going to have to get back because he's going to lose his Tree of Ages, and that is something he doesn't want to lose. That's his tier 2, so he's going to be stuck with archers, maybe merc camps. He might be able to save it with enough wisps coming in here, but it does look like he's got water elementals going heavily on those wisps. Wisps also being picked off by the footmen. There's not much left to keep it alive. Archmage is still going. He can't get another water elemental out, and these water elementals are slowly going to fall down, especially with a detonator, and it does look like the Tree of Ages does get picked off here alongside some archers. Foggy does manage to defend it. I don't know whether he's defended it successfully or not, because the archmage is still there. He does manage to save... I guess he didn't defend it. And the Demon Hunter just narrowly slipping out with 21 health left. And InquisitiveHawk actually not in too much trouble, because he probably took Militia out of his main base to then help defend versus the Demon Hunter, which can then start mining up. So Hawk is actually in a really, really strong position here. He's taken out his opponent's main, which is the tier 2 main, and it leaves him with only a couple of Ancients of War to mass out Huntresses here, because neither player currently has easy access to mercenary camps because the creeps are still there. This Demon Hunter is level 5, almost level 5.5. He used Staff of Preservation there on the Zeppelin, I think. Oh no, what the hell did he use that on? Someone did it. I swear I saw it there. He must have used it on Staff on there and then it got sent over there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's always funny. A lot of players don't realise that, but you can use Staff of Preservation on Zeppelins, which is always fun to watch, because it's not something you normally would expect to see. Down goes the footman. So basically InquisitiveHawk, it looks like it's not going too well for him, but I think he's been pretty successful. Really, it's kind of hard to tell, because I did say that Foggy lost his main, which was tier 2, but he managed to put down 2 Ancients of Law before losing that main. That's a nice move there from Hawk there. He drops down his hero and his units, uses a scroll of rejuvenation. I wonder if he could drop him down there. Probably not. He could use his scroll of regeneration, so he can get them healing over time. Got loads of units here from Foggy moving up into the expansion of InquisitiveHawk. We've got 40 food here for Foggy and 42 food for Hawk, who's got a lot of gold but not too much wood. Has he got a shredder? He has. So he's going to be doing okay for wood in the long run. And there's towers coming up. 1 guard tower and 1 arcane tower is going to make it very easy for Hawk to defend versus his somewhat average Night Elf composition here. And the Demon Hunter isn't looking too strong either. Mountain King here coming out here for InquisitiveHawk, which is going to be very good here for picking off the Demon Hunter in a moment. The Archmage is doing lots of harass here versus Foggy's only source of income right now. So that's why Foggy's doing that. He's not bothering to defend here. The Mountain King and the towers are going to be focusing down the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter is the main thing to pick off. If you can do that, then you're going to be successful. There's no way to bring out that Mountain King's mana, is there? Is there, Mr. Demon Hunter? No, there isn't, because... Oh, there we go! The Demon Hunter goes down, and he didn't have enough mana anyway to do a mana burn. He did try the Shadow Meld there with the Cloak of Shadows, but unfortunately it was that close until he could do it. And the Mountain King just about managed to get the Stormbolt off and successfully get the kill. It looks like Hawk is in a very strong position here. Almost a level 5 Archmage, so you can expect to see level 3 Water Elementals soon. If he can just pick up another Wisp or Dryad or anything like that, he can do some great damage. He's also got the Zeppelin here to help him micro. Mountain King is enough, funnily enough, even just a level 2 Mountain King, just to kind of fend off these weaker units, which are actually being pulled back, mainly just to help defend, keep this expansion alive, which is essentially his main base now. The main, if you can call this a main base, is actually sort of coming back up. Demon Hunter has actually been picked up from the tavern. InquisitiveHawk with 1700 gold. Foggy not doing so well on gold. 200 gold for him. 31 food and 32 food for both players basically. So they're both on basically a similar level of food. That tried. Yeah, know your place. Step back. It does look like constant harass here from InquisitiveHawk is going to be successful. Foggy did a lot of harass earlier with the Demon Hunter, but don't forget this Demon Hunter is almost level 6. He's got some average items. He got a bit unlucky with the Robe of Magi plus 6, whereas Hawk, I think, has much better items. I can't check what they are right now, but let's have a look at the Demon Hunter, who is, once again, this seems to be history repeating itself. He's like he's 16 experience away from level 6, which is Metamorphosis time, and he's going to want to use Metamorphosis inside of a human base, in my opinion. He won't want to blow his load too early. He'll want to make sure he's inside that base, and he's been there for a while, and then he can use it. So yeah, the Demon Hunter has 2 Circlets of Nobility, Staff of Teleportation, Cloak of Shadows, a Robe of Magi +6. I'm not sure why he hasn't sold that yet. Maybe he is going to sell that. He'd be better off picking up Invulnerability part. He gets rid of the Cloak of Shadows. I suppose he just wants the mana, because he has got Immolation as well, so it's not terrible, but it's still not that good on a Demon Hunter. Meanwhile, InquisitiveHawk is creeping out with his Mountain King, trying to get him some experience over here. Maybe edging towards level 3, which of course means a level 2 Stormbolt. Archmage is sitting with a Scroll of Town Portal, Mantle of Intelligence +3, Slippers of Agility +3, Robe of the Magi +6, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and Scroll of Healing. So Hawk likes to have a Scroll of Teleport and Lesser Invulnerability and Scroll of Healing on his Archmage at most of the time. Mountain King is now level 3 with a Potion of Invulnerability, which is very good for denying potential mana burns, getting more Stormbolts out. It's really worth it on a Mountain King, if you ask me, especially if you're against a Demon Hunter, because you've got to look at it that way. That's 150 gold, but that's 150 gold to not only make your hero invulnerable and also get up in the enemy's, you know, army, but also to deny potential mana loss from mana burn. So you're actually kind of spending 150 gold to maybe having a little extra Stormbolt, 1 extra Stormbolt. So it's a win-win situation, in my opinion, to have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability for a Mountain King, and a Scroll of Healing really allows InquisitiveHawk to be in a strong position here, because he's now finally spent that resources. He's got a decent army, but he's spent a lot of the gold obviously on these items, these Scroll of Healings, which are going to go very well because he's got 66 food here, so that's probably about, I don't know, 45 foods worth of army here to actually, including these heroes, to 45-ish to actually sort of spread that healing out. Oh, there we go, level 6 Demon Hunter. He does soak up a mana burn. The Mountain King does soak up a mana burn, so he didn't use that invulnerability part. Demon Hunter, not sure when to use this this level 6 by the looks of it. Oh my goodness, he's having a rough time here from the creep camp. That's not good at all. That's not what you want when a freaking huge human army is inside of your base. Oh, Demon Hunter, where are you right now? Where are you right now? There he is. He's slowly, ever slowly, with the slow, moving towards time of retraining. Oh my, did he accidentally get the wrong ability? Did he not get... Oh my goodness, what is going on? Here he comes in. Is he going to use Metamorphosis? He's now finally using Metamorphosis. InquisitiveHawk could just run away at this point. There is a Stormbolt stun, which actually kind of ironically stops his Metamorphosis from being useful. But now he's back in the game. He's got slow. Sorceresses really screw over the Demon Hunter here. His Dryads are too far away. They're split up. The human army is in between. They're denying. Look at that, the slow's constantly being cast on this Demon Hunter. He probably want to try to get rid of the slow, but he can't. It does look like Foggy's in a lot of trouble here. InquisitiveHawk using that Scroll of Healing, just securing that victory. And Foggy throws down the GG there. And InquisitiveHawk takes the best of 7 series. Very good game. Great efforts from both players. Foggy, really nice attempts there with the harass. Demon Hunter Immolation. Staff for teleportating into that Wisp. He did really good damage to the economy, but past that point, when it got to the mid-game, it just kind of fell apart. Unfortunately, because he lost his main. If he could just keep that main alive, if that main survived, even losing all that he did, he would have been okay there. But he took the sacrifice. He decided to harass the opponent's expansion with the Demon Hunter whilst trying to survive and keep his own main alive, but it didn't pay off, and I think that in the end cost him the game. And InquisitiveHawk had enough resources from that point on, loads of gold, to spend it all on invulnerability parts, Scroll of Healing, and obviously a decent army to boot, which meant that InquisitiveHawk kind of secured his victory in that game from that point onwards. So very good games between the two players, amazing series. I really enjoyed casting this, and if you enjoyed it, then you can always find more of these videos at my YouTube channel. That's www.youtube.com/WTiiWarcraft, WTii Warcraft, all one word. Or you can catch me streaming at twitch.tv/WTii. I have to say it that way. I should have picked an easier name, but never mind. It is what it is. Well, there it is, which is what it's after. And if you like these videos, then maybe you might want to help me out by liking the videos themselves on the YouTube. Subscribe if you want to see more of it, favorite it, comment it, and share it with your friends. And that'll do it. Thank you very much for watching so far. I hope you enjoyed this. I did. Take care, and I'll see you later.